Hello everyone. I was asked to comment on a video on YouTube by another YouTuber, and this is going to be a video that's a bit off theme for my channel, but some of you who like politics might like what I have to say. Some of you won't. That's alright. The person who asked me to do this was Jared, Eagle Eye 1975. And the video is about a group called Battleground Texas. I'll leave a link in the description box if you guys want to see it. And the video is by a group called Project Veritas, which immediately put me on guard because every time I hear the word Veritas in place of truth, I'm kind of leery, like I'm about to meet an asshole. You know, it's just a thing with that Latin word. Anyways, some of you know, and if you don't, I'll tell you now, I'm a voter registration drive organizer. My voter registration drive is called Voting and Action, and we are very dormant in off-election years, especially the off-presidential election years, because we're not in very high demand, because my voter registration drive is not affiliated with a political party. And in that way we can go to high schools, because we found that rewarding to teach teenagers how to vote and register them for the first time. If you affiliate with a political party, you become partisan, and you are not allowed in high schools. At least not in Colorado. So, this Battleground Texas group that's in the video, I'll leave a link in the description box if you want to watch it. They are self-identifying in some of the clips as a Democratic organization from the Democratic Party. And they are taking information off of the voter registration form that they should not be taking. This is not just a state law in Texas. It's state law in Colorado, but it's also federal law that you're not supposed to take any of the information that's on a voter registration form and then save it in any way. You're not supposed to copy the forms, photocopy it at all, and you're not supposed to make a database of all the information that you're not supposed to have. Now, there is some exception to it, in so far as there's a redacted way that you can keep records by redacting just about everything. And you're allowed to keep the name and address in some circumstances. And the person who registers, if they use the form that comes in duplicate or triplicate with carbon copies, they can keep their own copy to check against whether or not they get registered after they go through registration with your drive. You know, there's a check there, like to see if this drive is just pretending to register people or not. And what this group, Battleground Texas, is doing, my voter registration drive never did. One, because it's illegal, right? Two, because it's time consuming. And three, which I think is the most important reason why we don't do this. If you are wanting to help out a political party, you should ask the political party what they want you to do. Okay? Because in the case of Battleground Texas, They call themselves a democratic organization. But are they run by the Democratic Party? No, no, no. See, this is a problem of too many chiefs, not enough Indians. And people not knowing their role and wanting to go outside of normal channels. Because you can get all the information that they are collecting by just volunteering for your political party, because all of the information, when somebody registers to vote, it gets forwarded on to the party that they choose to affiliate with. Okay? Now, maybe this Democratic organization is also adding to their database all of the independent voters, which a political party wouldn't get. But I know from experience, from registering with multiple political parties, that they all have my phone number, they all have my email address, and they love to use it. Okay? But what happens when somebody is batshit crazy and decides that they're not happy with the low man on the totem pole role that they are getting from their local political party? They decide to split off and start their own little nonprofit. And then what happens is they don't want to ask the political party local chapter for information, because maybe they burn bridges, because they're crazy. In my experience, most of the time they're just fucking insane crazy. And basically they're going to collect the information that they can with the channels that they can, to get around having to work with the party directly and being lockstep with them, to achieve goals that maybe ostensibly seem similar, but they're not similar in some way. They are trying to do something that their party is not wanting to do. Right? So in this video, Battleground Texas has this, I guess, organizer that she says if you call someone before an election, after you register them, the chances that they will vote go from 15% to 60%. And if you touch base with them twice, it goes up to 75%. Now, what she is getting wrong in the video is that it need not be the person who registered the person to vote. It can just be the political party that they registered under. If a political party calls you enough times, you are much more likely to go vote. Especially if it's a personal call and not a robocall. And that's why many politicians will enlist like entire phone banks worth of people to call all of their base. I've been one of these people for multiple different politicians, okay? And you call up everyone and you try to get them to vote for the party, and you try to get them to vote for the candidate that you are representing. So, being that all of the information that they are gathering can be gotten through normal channels where you are working directly with the people that you supposedly support, there is no reason to do this illegal thing to get more information unless you have some other motive than directly supporting the party. You must want to get this information and not have to ask for it, and not have to explain why you're using it. Okay? And I feel like it's dangerous to have this information in a database that isn't vetted by the Secretary of State to be secure. You know, it's a lot of fucking information. You could apply for a lot of fucking credit cards in the black market with that shit. You don't want people doing that shit. And I am not a stranger to hearing that somebody did something for someone, like registering someone to vote for them. I've heard of parents doing it for their children when their children couldn't give two shits. You know, I've heard of someone voting for their invalid spouse. You know, while they're in the hospital recovering from something. I've heard of somebody just voting for them because they know how they would have voted and signing their signature for them. On the flip side of that, I've actually heard of people voting completely differently than one another in the same household, you know, and it not affecting their marriage that much. And there's people who will bend and break the rules in every government program, be it voter registration or even a semi-government program like the Lifeline phone program that I'm now an agent for. You know, I do know of agents from not just the company that I represent, but others who will fudge numbers and data in order to get someone a free phone so that they can basically get the commission of $3 for giving out a free phone. And one of the things I know that they do is all of those companies use a common database, right? All they have to do is use a different address for the person and then completely make up a social security number last four. Because it doesn't you don't get asked for the whole social security number. You just have to punch in the last four. Well, they use the same name and different address. They're like, what's your parents' address? And we'll just put in a different last four for you and it'll go through. And it does, you know. And I won't do it out of principle. And I have spent, in a couple cases, 3 or 4 days of a couple minutes each day fighting it out to try to get someone a Lifeline phone. Obama phone, for those of you who don't know what it is. Although he didn't really start the program. Reagan did. And Bush had more to do with some of the regulations about it. But anyways, it happens. And, you know, there's a lot of times no reason for it to happen other than people being lazy and not wanting to do things the hard way, or people wanting more power. And I think in the case of voter registration, that database is power. Knowledge is power, okay? And when you volunteer with your local political party's chapter, you will be given a little bit of power, because you will be given a sheet with a whole bunch of phone numbers for your precinct to call and, you know, drum up the votes, you know. And that little bit of power was just divvied out to you, you know, rationed. You're going to get just as much as they want you to have. And some people can't deal with that shit. They want it all. They're like, no, don't just give me a little morsel and tell me what to do and make me a soldier. I want to be a general right now. And that's why this shit happens. Because people don't know how to be team players. Right? there are so many different names of voter registration drives that correspond to wannabe nonprofits and nonprofits that, each one of them could just be the Democratic Party and the Republican Party and the Libertarian Party. I mean, basically, you should just be able to count the affiliated voter registration drives on two hands. Just the major third parties and the two big ones. Alright? That would be if everybody was trying to work with the political party that they should be working with in order to achieve a goal, instead of trying to run shit themselves because they can't handle not being a winner at the top of the fucking food chain from day fucking one. Okay? They can't handle that they got out of college and don't immediately get put in a position of power. They can't handle having to put in the legwork to be trusted with information by the political party that they want to serve. So they're going to go around the structure of authority that political party has put into place for good fucking reasons. Shit like, this Battleground Texas does not represent Wendy What's-Her-Fuck that they are supposedly trying to help, right? They are a rogue organization. One of fucking 50 bajillion. But look in this video by Project Veritas, and because they're operating in the same area as Wendy What's-Her-Fuck, they're basically bringing their baggage and putting it on her. Right? Whatever wrongs they're doing by calling themselves a democratic organization, every democratic candidate in that area is being smeared with their wrongdoings. Okay? Because they don't know how to be fucking soldiers. They don't know how to be fucking helpers. They don't know how to be Indians. They want to be chiefs from day fucking one, and they don't deserve a seat at the fucking table where those decisions are made, and they don't want to accept it. Okay? For the last couple months, myself, I have been helping a few nonprofit organizations by not seeking any authority whatsoever. I'm helping All Breeds dog rescue, by loaning them my trailer for the St. Patrick's Day Parade, because I'm not using it this year. I'm letting people from different organizations like Dennis Upwan's community radio station, KCMJ, or the Freethinkers use my conference room in my market. And I'm doing all of this intentionally, because this has been a trip that I've been on lately. Intentionally not trying to seek out a position of fucking power. I'm getting behind someone who I fucking trust, and I'm working for them. Alright? Find out that place in your life where you can fucking do that, and see how much fucking more work gets done when you take a decision that's already been fucking made that you like, and you get behind it and you fucking support it. You can do that, or you can see how much work gets done by trying to be the person who makes that decision all the fuck over again with your own organization. to grab all the glory for yourself. One of these fucking days, people are going to fucking wake up and realize that glory is shit. It's fleeting. And you'd probably rather look back on your life and, you know, realize that you did something rather than tried to be someone. I just spent 4 hours painting portraits to be auctioned away for the Homeless Foundation this weekend. It's actually called the Homeless Foundation. It's a bad PR move. They needed some other name. Anyways, did I set up the auction? No. Did I set up the organization? No. Do I get any recognition from doing it? Not much. But it's helping. Okay? Find a way to fucking help. And when you see someone wanting to splinter off and create their own group, rather than face the problems that they see in the group that they're in, first ask yourself, is it a case of them not getting enough recognition to stroke their ego, not getting enough power to stroke their fucking ego? And if it's unavoidable that they're just going to leave your organization, don't kowtow to them and split off and try to split your energy into 2, 3, a dozen different fucking groups. Stay where you are. Figure out what you can do and do it. This Battleground Texas group is... I have to wonder if this is fucking Poe's Law. I have to wonder, you know, why is it that I can't tell the difference between, you know, a complete retard running this voter registration drive and feeding the opposition every fucking political soundbite that they need in order to prove fraud. Because every fucking thing that she says, to me, you know, coming from a position where I have that same role in my organization, I'm like, bitch, just in your own videos, give them everything that they need to ruin every fucking candidate that you say that you support. Really? I'm left thinking, I'm not from this county in Texas. I don't know their politics that well. But I'm left thinking, is this a real group that's been around in Texas, or is this a group that's actually started by their opposition to look like a real group and just feed every news story that they want to make about fraud in the opposition? Because that's how bad they operate. That's how horrible this mess is. You know? And that's what happens when people aren't communicating with one another and being lockstep with a plan. See, if she was actually working for the Democratic Party, volunteering for them, and she asked, hey, can we take this information right straight off of the voter registration form and save it in a database, the Democratic Party itself would say, no! Fuck no! Stop what you're doing! You're going to fuck us all. But she didn't want to hear that. And now she's undermining everything that she says that she supports. To the point where it's, I think, a legitimate question. Is she a fucking plant? You know? That's how bad she's fucked things up. They can't pay for a fucking spy to go infiltrate the real Democratic Party and fuck shit up that bad. Okay? They have to do it, you know, they have to get this fucking moron to point the finger at with her Democratic organization that really has nothing to do with the Democratic Party other than sharing values and not the same game plan. Because she just had to be the fucking chief and not know her role and do her fucking job where she would be competent. Instead, she promoted herself to the role that she's incompetent in. Well, Jared, those are my thoughts.